Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. I'm living in a world at the moment where I think the world's actually been cancelled. Every day another email with more cancellations. Don't get me wrong, it needs doing. We all need to stay safe, think about ourselves, one, and others, two. Not the other way round. You think about yourself first. If you get ill, other people have got to put themselves in dodgy positions to look after you. So you look after number one. Probably the only time you'd ever hear me say that. You first, and then you're still in a position to not inconvenience others and possibly help others. If you're ill, somebody's got to risk themselves looking after you. So for once, number one. Right, viewers' Orchid question time is cancelled. I might even put a big red cancelled across. I've just been through our Orchid Society magazine and we have a section called upcoming events, which I spent quite a long time making look pretty and have just put cancelled all across them. It's the way it goes. So the question time today is cancelled on the grounds there aren't enough. And although two people put a question in about the same subject, it is actually that. It's a subject, not really something I want to do in questions and answers. It's a separate standalone video, which I'm quite happy to do, but it won't be immediately. What I'm going to replace this with is the tag that I got from Rachel, Gardening at Ynse, which is an unusual tag because it's not actually an orchid tag, although there will be orchidy stuff in there just because it's me doing it. But others who got that tag probably wouldn't even say the word orchid. So let me get the questions up. I brought the laptop in with me because my printer's up the Swanee, so I couldn't print the questions out and I couldn't be bothered to hand write them when I can do them this way. Just cut and paste them out of Rachel's video basically and stuck them in a text document which we'll have big so that we can read it at a distance. Right, this basically is about your YouTube viewing habits. Yes, I use YouTube a lot. You know, all this business about being stuck at home is quite normal for me. I am almost self-isolating by the nature of the way I live. I am in the house the majority of my time. I go out to do a bit of shopping, only food shopping. All the other types of shopping I do is mainly online, where I can look at stuff, you know, do a virtual pick up and turn upside down, all that sort of stuff. So I don't go out that much. My nature trips for butterflies, wild orchids and stuff, they're still on. I'm self-isolated in my car. There's only me in it. And when I get there, in wide open spaces, I've always said, if I can see somebody, they're too damn close, so that's okay, I'm still alright with all that. Stopping in for a coffee and a cake while I'm out might have to stop, but on the grounds the place will probably be closed anyway. But so that sort of side of life. What's really bugging me, quite honestly, is the two orchid societies, which are effectively wiped out at the moment. They're just off. And also the non-related orchid shows, like the Big Malvern show. Even though it's out in June, somebody's being sensible and looking forward and thinking this ain't going to be over by June. I reckon it'll be lucky to be over by the end of the summer. We shall see. So that's cancelled, and I had a hotel room booked. Hannah and I were off up there at a leisurely pace, off out with the festivities on Saturday night, which is a large gathering of people all go to the same place. Lots of alcohol, lots of fun, great night out. Stay in the hotel, go to Malvern show the next day. That's all off. Yeah, so you know, there's a lot of stuff just getting cancelled. And I feel sorry for those that have put all the effort in to organise these things to just get them wiped out. And in some cases, probably expenditure too. So yeah, I mean, I'm lucky my hotel cancellation has no fee against it. Right, let's get on with the task in hand. It's a set of 12 questions and they're related to really how and why I'm involved with YouTube. That's the sort of thing. So first question is, actually I'll do a bit of elaboration, because obviously I've got, my main use is for my channel, yeah, you know, that involves sorting out videos, getting them posted, going in, checking comments, putting replies in, so that's my primary use, I suppose you'd say. But I have got lots of orchid channels that I'm subscribed to. Now that used to be, a few years ago, a ridiculous number, heading up towards around 300, quite a lot of which were non-English speaking but showed pretty orchids, and in those days I'd subscribe to anything that had a picture of an orchid in it. That had to be stopped because my feed of, you know, newly posted videos was just silly, and I was missing out on some people's orchid videos that I wanted to watch because it was just in a sea of videos. So I wiped that right down, and I'm now subscribed to about 80 orchid channels. If yours isn't one of them, I'm sorry. Maybe I haven't seen it yet. Maybe you haven't told me about it yet. But I tend to subscribe and maintain that subscription to people who post on a reasonable regular basis with content that I enjoy. Isn't that what YouTube's all about? Yeah? So that's the orchid side of the world. I use YouTube for many other things. Totally out of character, you might think. I watch a lot of videos about military aircraft. Not the big transport, but the whizzy ones. You know, display teams, military jets, film clips from air shows, things like that. Information films on that subject, so that's a side subject that I've got. What else do I use YouTube for? Comedy. Lots of that. We need a bit of that at the moment, don't we? I tend to not watch whole shows. You know, you can go onto YouTube and watch a whole hour of somebody's stand-up. I tend to like the short clips where possibly somebody's gathered together a comedian's jokes about a particular subject and strung them all together, so they've done the work for you. I like that sort of thing. But also some chat shows, things like Graham Norton, but again, totally dependent on who's on, because some of the people he has on are boring, and others are a hoot. So Graham Norton, many others, I'm not going to name them because I'll miss out some, but I like a lot of comedy, the military aircraft stuff, not much else really, and the orchid stuff obviously. I do go searching for obscure things now and again. I am subscribed to a channel called The Guitarist, and I use that because they give little demonstrations and little lessons, and there is a style of lead guitar one day I will learn. I got the guitar for it, just haven't got the inkling yet, but I'm collecting together little lessons. You know, just a few notes and a few bit of phrasing that can make you sound quite good in a quick time, in a short time. I still haven't done it yet, but I'm collecting those together. Plus you can get really good backing tracks, so that when you want to play a little bit of guitar, like either a bit of bass or a bit of lead, you've got something going on behind you instead of playing on your own, which can get boring and lifeless, you know, so playing with others. So I collect those sort of things together. Demos of different guitars, different amplifiers, that sort of stuff. And then there's the music side that brings me back into music videos. And I like to find bands that I used to follow and buy albums and that sort of stuff that are still going. Some of them ought to be in wheelchairs, perhaps we don't watch them so much. And you can get videos of live concerts. And I love that sort of thing. I love going and finding some of my favourite musicians and listening to their band or whatever playing live. I'm not into singers as such unless they're the front person in a band I like. So I don't follow singers, it's bands mainly. So yeah, so that's my YouTube usage. Right, now on to the actual questions, some of which will have short, sharp answers, and some of you are not going to like some of the answers. But I've always said, if you don't think you're going to like the answer, don't ask the question in the first place. Right, how do you subscribe? Right away or after a few videos? There are times when somebody will ask me to take a look at their first couple of videos. This is Orchid stuff now, purely Orchid stuff I'm on about now, because I don't subscribe to hardly anything else. I watch it and search for it, but I don't subscribe. So my only subscriptions, apart from the guitarist, are Orchid related. So there's a style of YouTube usage that probably doesn't match any of yours, but that's how I am. So my subscriptions are geared up to the Orchid stuff. Somebody asked me to take a look at their channel. They bothered to ask me to go and have a look at their channel, and they've got some Orchid videos coming up. I will subscribe there and then. I don't even need to watch the video. I will subscribe because I've been asked to. Yeah. Some of the channels I'm still subscribed to are from days when I used to go looking for Orchid channels because I wanted information. Don't tend to have time to do that so much now, sorry, but I don't. Those I've already found, and I find other channels in comment sections, not only on my videos but on other people's videos that I watch. You see a comment from somebody, oh, they've got a pretty picture, not just a letter as the logo, so you just have a quick look. Have they got a channel? Have they got any content? Is their content some nice videos? So I might subscribe there. So, but if I'm going to subscribe, I do it there and then. Yep. And I don't do many new ones. Again, you might not like that. I don't go looking for them anymore. They have to come and find me and ask, basically. Does make sure you subscribe in the contents of watching a video sway you to do so? Answer, no. See answer to previous question. If I'm watching a video and it says, and don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to, I take no notice of that whatsoever. You might not like that either, but I don't. Why do you think I don't bother putting it in mine? Or very rarely. If I put an end screen on one of my videos, because I think this video does go with the one you've just watched, not that many people get right to the end. That'll include me later. But if I do get to do an end screen, I will put the subscribe button up. But otherwise it doesn't exist. How often have you ever heard me say, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel? I look at it like this. If you're watching it and you like it, we're all grown-ups. Do you need telling? So I don't do it. Yeah. Some do. Some do, I think, because they see too many others doing it and it's like a copycat thing. Maybe not. Maybe it's a conscious choice, but I've chosen not to do that. Very often. Very rarely say it. Right. How many channels do you have the notification bell turned on for? 0. Now some of you aren't going to like that. Why is it 0? That's a laptop. It's not always on, and I'm not always sat at it. Contrary to what some people think, I don't spend my life sat in front of that laptop. What do I use my phone for? I use it for texting people and for receiving text from others that need to say something, and for making and receiving phone calls. And I occasionally get the maps up. That's it. I don't use my phone for Facebook, email and YouTube. So it's never logged in to any of those things. And if you're not logged in, I don't believe you get a notification. So I wouldn't hear it even if it was turned on. So I don't click the notification bell because I haven't got a device to tell me that it's gone off. Simple as that. So I don't do that. Do you watch every video in your subscription feed or only your favourites? Neither. I certainly don't watch every video in my subscription feed. I haven't got time. And I don't have favourites. I have a quick look at my subscription feed, who the videos are from. That does have an influence on what I might watch. And I have got some that I know I'm going to enjoy. So I'll watch those. It doesn't matter who made them. They just make stuff that I enjoy. So there'll be some that I'll watch almost every time. But then you get some who don't only do orchid videos, they do orchids about other stuff. And I might have a quick look at the start of that and think, actually that's not of great interest to me, sorry, so I quit out. But we're still talking orchid related stuff here, don't forget. So yeah, do you watch every video in your subscription feed? No. But I don't only watch favourites because I don't really have favourites. Yeah, I try and find some content that's going to hold my attention, give me some information, or sometimes it's just pretty pictures. But so I have various reasons for watching the ones there. How many channels do you never miss an update from? None. Because for reasons already stated. If you haven't got the notifications set to tell you when somebody uploads a video, I look at the videos in my subscription feed and choose which ones I'm going to watch. Yeah, so that's how it works for me. What kind of comments do you leave and how often? Well, obviously I need to have watched the video, and again it's a time thing. There is only so much of that, and for me that hasn't changed much by self-isolating, because I was here anyway, so that hasn't changed much. So I haven't got loads more time that I didn't have before. I've got roughly the same amount, quite honestly. That hasn't changed. I've got lots of different things to do during the day, and most of that's behind you. Yeah, that still goes on. I leave a comment personally if I think there's something to say because of the time constraint. It would be nice to put great video or thanks for sharing on everything I watch, but I haven't really got the time. So if there's something I think to say, like if somebody's left an open-ended question in their video and I actually know the answer, I'm quite happy to type that in, and sometimes that might be quite a long comment. Or if somebody's done something a bit unusual for their channel, you know, great idea, that would be a nice comment to leave, yeah, something like that. So I do leave comments, but they're not frequent. I can go a day where I've watched some of my subscription feed videos and left no comments at all. So it does happen. I said you wouldn't always like the answers. Right, do you watch the ads before videos or do you skip them? This is a lovely black and white one. If it's an orchid channel that I'm subscribed to, I have an interest in that person's channel. If there are adverts on the front of their videos, I will watch them if they're shortish. And my time is 30 seconds, yeah? If I get a 2.5 minute video on the front, I'm going to skip it. Sorry again, but that's how I am. But the short videos on the front, I'll watch. If I hit a video in the middle, I will skip it if I can. I don't like them. I don't have them on my channel. They annoy me, especially if it's right in the middle of a really interesting sentence. I just sort of glaze over and, you know, I won't say it out loud, but you know what I mean. If I'm interested enough to watch the video, so I want to watch it. But I see the point, because it is known in YouTube circles, if you only have adverts at the front of your video, you will earn X. If you start putting videos at various points during your video, you will earn X times 2 and sometimes times 3. So it can dramatically increase your income. Now, although I appreciate the income I get from my channel, I was doing it before I got the income. And if the income stopped dead tomorrow, I'd still be doing it the next day. I don't do it specifically for the income, though it's nice to have. Pays for the plants you've just seen me get, things like that. So yes, I watch the ads. I'm only subscribed to that one other channel, and I don't watch the ads on that one. It's a massive channel, they don't need me. And ones that I've searched out, I also don't watch the ads for. So the only ads I'm going to watch are the ones on YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to. So that's that one. Do you skip through or speed up videos to watch them all, or do you watch them all the way through? I skip out of videos if my interest isn't held or the content is not what I thought it was going to be, so I could skip out. And we do have a problem now because, oh, I thought my battery had gone. It's just gone into sleep mode because the battery's getting low. I'll have to speed up, because if it goes off, I don't know what the rest of the questions are. Right, stop waffling. So I normally watch a video through. I will skip ads halfway through. I don't speed up videos. I'm not sure I know how. But I do grab hold of the little bar sometimes and move forward a bit and move forward a bit. But I always try and watch out the end of the video, the last sort of 20-30 seconds, because YouTube thinks you've watched it all, and that's quite important for the channel owner. It completes a view, yeah? So I tend to do that. Do you usually click affiliate links? No. That was easy, wasn't it? Yeah. What is your ideal video length? There isn't one. A 1-minute video can hold my attention and give me information. So can a 30-minute video. Yeah? I don't very often go much above 30, but if my attention's held, I'll go to an hour, if I've got the hour to spare. Yeah? So there isn't an ideal length. The ideal YouTube length is greater than 10 minutes, sorry, because certain facilities are opened if the video is longer than 10 minutes, so they like you to be in that category. My ideal video length, I've got quite a lot of regular viewers who like the long waffly ones, and some that would prefer them a little shorter. I would say my perfect length to please everybody is 20 minutes. How many 20-minute videos do you get? Not many. They tend to be up the quite short end, not very often, and then around the 25 to 35 minutes. So, yeah, whatever. When do you thumbs up or thumbs down a video? I don't think I have ever thumbs down a video on the grounds that if I'm watching it, see previous answers. Yeah? What would I be watching it and then saying, oh, I don't like that? I wouldn't do that. So I will either do a thumbs up or not bother. And if it's a video on my subscription feed, the instant it starts, I hit thumbs up. So I'm not giving it a thumbs up because I like the video. I give it a thumbs up because the channel is of interest to me and I've subscribed. So that's how I use that. Not quite how it's supposed to be used, but that's how I do it. Do you share YouTube videos on your other social media accounts? No. I'd say no, but my Facebook group, which is an orchid related group linked to this channel, I will occasionally put a link to one of my videos on the Facebook group. It's usually when it's a short video, possibly from a show, something like that. But I certainly don't whack all my videos onto the YouTube group, onto the Facebook group. Facebook isn't really for videos, it's for pictures and chats. Yeah, so I like to keep it to that. So no, I don't really share the videos on other platforms. I make my videos for YouTube. YouTube is the platform geared up to videos. It all links in together as far as I'm concerned. So there you go, that's the 12 questions. Now the lovely bit. I've got to tag 2 more people to try and keep this going. Well, one of those people, if they're watching this, they know what's coming next because they know they're going to get tagged. You're going to get hit. So Ynse, you're on. And it will be interesting because I know Ynse uses this platform quite a lot for stuff that's nothing to do with orchids, and it might be quite interesting to know what sort of things. It gives you a bit of insight into the person behind, not even necessarily the face on YouTube. Sometimes there's faces you never see, like Danny for instance, and other YouTube channels. This is all you ever see. Let's see some plants now and again. Sorry about that. All the children have just run for cover. But you know what I mean. Some people, it's all about the people, and they tend to forget that it's supposed to be an orchid video. And the other one I'm going to tag is Todd. So we've got one from east of me and one from a long way west of me. So 2 different parts of the world, 2 different growing environments, but that really doesn't relate to these questions. These questions are about how you use YouTube and the way you view YouTube as a platform and a facility, and in our channel cases, a tool. Yeah. So the questions I'll put in the description so that you've got them written out, as cut and pasted from Rachel's description. Don't blink typing that lot out again unnecessarily. And it'll be interesting, and it'll be nice if it keeps going. It will fizzle out because eventually people that are tagged will not join in, and that chain just dies at that point. If you don't join in, it's just dead. So if 2 people are tagged and only 1 joins in, there's a potential for 2 more. If both join in, there's the potential for 4 more. But it will fizzle out eventually. Trust me, all the tags eventually fizzle out. And it's because I think that, you know, it's perhaps the answers become a bit samey and people can't be bothered to do them. Whatever. But so you two, Todd, Ynse, you're on. And Ynse, I'll tell you again, I need your mailing address, please, to send you your plants. I sent you a personal message on Facebook because Ynse's just joined the Facebook group. You could hear the cheer. I know you don't like Facebook, but you're safe there, trust me, you got backup. You're quite safe on that thing. Just set all your settings on the one you had to set up to join to private so that nobody can get at you. That's the easy way out of that. And don't use it. Just use it to log in to get to the Facebook group, and you're perfectly safe. And anybody mucks about on that group gets told in no uncertain terms, so you're safe. But you should have, up at the top of Facebook, there's a little circle with a zigzag thing in it, which should have a red number 1 on it or something at the moment. That's a message from me, which you need to click on, and then you can type a reply in and I get to see it. And nobody else can. That is totally private. That's why I'm using it. Unless your email's back up, in which case we're back onto the normal stuff. But yeah, you do need to get in touch. It's important. And I'll leave it at that. And as I said, it's an unusual tag. You know, there's not really much orchidy stuff in there, apart from the fact that my channel is a YouTube channel. That tag can go out to anyone. They don't have to be an orchid channel. And that may be how it originally started. But now that we've trapped it into the orchid world, it can be orchid related for a while. But if you're tagged and you choose to tag somebody whose channel is not orchid related, I presume that's okay. Your choice. I've chosen 2 orchid channels, although one of those is not all orchids. There's some trees going on in there and some garden stuff. And on the other side you've got some nature walks and stuff like that, which I find very interesting. So it's not all orchids, doesn't have to be. So anyway, see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.